Hey everyone, Jared here from Storytowns as we are in lockdown. This is our winery podcast series, just for you to listen to in the comfort of your own home. And this next podcast is Matilda from Henty Estate Wines, pretty famous winery up in Hamilton. In the past few years, Matilda and her family have taken over the Henty Estate. And here's the story. All right, I'm here with Matilda. You and your husband bought Henty Estate a few years ago, and you said before that you were a hick from the city, but now you're a hick in the country with a gun license. True?
Yes, I am actually. I do currently actually have a gun license, which is quite interesting for most of my Melbourne friends. I don't know. I don't know why I got the gun license, actually. I think it has been like a really lovely transition from coming from Melbourne, living in Melbourne, and coming to the country and then realising that the change of lifestyle, what was important, what's different, what's new, this sort of development of actually getting a gun license, it's sort of everything has come full circle. I mean, we did buy a farm when we came here, and we lived in the house. You know, we loved it. My father-in-law actually has Charolais sheep, and he has done most of the farming on that farm. But when we purchased Henty Estate and we moved onto the property, it became more of a rounded lifestyle where we realised that in order to become Henty Estate, we had to immerse ourselves into the farming. So, you know, we've built this beautiful veggie patch. We've had this beautiful orchard that's been handed down to us from Peter Inglis that is beautiful. I mean, the trees are 20 years old. You're not going to be able to get this 20-year-old orchard with these varieties of fruit anywhere. So it's become a whole well-rounded experience of really immersing ourselves into the country lifestyle and really loving it. And
it's actually a big name that you took on. Like, that Henty name's a beer, so there's a lot of pressure for you guys to carry the Henty name, yeah?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I think I know Peter Inglis's legacy has been to produce something that is consistent, that is good quality, that is always excellent when you drink. You know that when you have a Henty Estate wine, it is always going to be something that is well-rounded, that is that you can actually share with family, and that you know that when you present that bottle to a party, that everyone is going to enjoy the wine. So taking on the winemaking side of it, taking on the viticulture side of it, it was a really big it was large pressure that we felt, but having that relationship that we do have with Peter Inglis, and they are amazing farmers, amazing people, it's meant that that transition has been a lot smoother. It's been a relationship, you know, of family rather than a sale from one business owner to the next. And that's what we've tried, and we've still continued. This is our family relationship. We, like, our children, you know, they love Peter Inglis. We're always out there. And I think that's important, you know, if you love what you do, if you love, you know, and that's really what Henty Estate is. It is just love. You know, it's love from one owner to the next. It's love for the grapes. It's love for what we do, producing beautiful wines. So I think, you know, that transition for some people where they purchase a business, you know, and it becomes marketing and it becomes, you know, this huge conglomerate. That's not love for wine.
Yeah,
you know, we love what we produce. We love who we sell to. You know, our clientele, they're not clientele. They're people that I've taught. They're people that, you know, I've taught their children. They're people that Peter has gone to school with. They're the people that Peter have worked with. You know, they're people that come into the restaurant. You know, they're actually friends as opposed to clientele.
And just a quick one, like Peter. So Peter he was teaching here at the school also.
No.
No.
He used to work for DPI.
What's DPI?
The Department of Primary Industries. Okay. So his background, I think, is a geologist. So he knew what he was doing. He knew the terroir. He knew the land that he was planting in. Glenys is an amazing farmer. She's also a graphics designer. So, that inspiration and that marriage of knowledge produced Henty Estate, produced the vineyard, and the iconic label that is Henty Estate. If you go into any salad door now, you can see our label, and it is classical Western District. It's classical Hamilton. It's pictures of Henty. It's pictures of the region, and again, that was love.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
So I think that, if you wanted to tell Henty Estate's story, it is literally the love from Peter and Glenys that they put into it, and myself and Michael and my children, because we're always out there. We love being in the vineyard. We love the farm that we are now living on, and we love the district.
Wow, well, there's a lot of love there. I love that. But now, before we get too carried away and everyone's listening and driving now, Henty Estate, it's not actually open, but you sell the wine. You have a cafe at Tarrington, hence why everyone's listening to this podcast right now. We're going to talk about your cafe. Now, your cafe is quite renowned around here. It's got a pretty good name for itself. Your husband is the chef, is that right? And so tell me about your husband and tell me about the cafe.
My husband is classically French trained. He is originally from England, and he moved over maybe 15 years ago. Maybe more, I'm not too sure. And his family, obviously they're English, and 10 years ago, actually coming up to 11, they wanted to move to the Western District, so they all migrated from England, and we decided that we were also going to have Cafe Catalpa, which is the restaurant. So he's worked there with his mother, again, another family-owned business. We don't go far from the family. And it's been wonderful. They have a really lovely relationship. She runs front of house, and also she's the pastry maker, and he works in the kitchen. He does some beautiful dishes, and she makes beautiful cakes. And I think when you go into Cafe Catalpa, you can actually feel that family atmosphere, And
we have to also mention that you support a lot of local wineries here also, not just your own. Like in the cafe, you've got a bunch of local wines in there.
Yep, absolutely. We have some really beautiful wines from Tarrington. So we have Pier Point, we have Hookirk, and we also have Mount Napier. Beautiful wines. They're good friends of ours, and we think that absolutely everybody should be trying Henty wines. Absolutely. And then we also have Crawford River, which is down south. We have a lot of their wines as well, because they produce such beautiful Riesling.
Some of Australia's best, I think they produce. I've read somewhere. Yeah.
Absolutely. And their Cabernet Merlot is beautiful. So and Baccara as well we have. So we know a lot of the wineries in the Henty wine region, essentially we all love what we do. We love producing wine. It's not, we don't do it full time.
Yeah.
So when someone's got passion, because they'll go and work a full day and then they'll come back into a vineyard. So you have to have passion for it, and you have to have that that extra stamina to sort of get through that. But
especially when you're teaching kids.
Absolutely. So you're getting a wine that it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Really.
Beautiful.
So I think the Western District, our wines in the Henty wine region, they're made by winemakers that love wine.
I actually really love your passion and the fact that you're including everyone. So one obscure question, what does the Western District mean to you?
Oh, the Western District. Coming from Melbourne, it was so interesting. I think when I first got here, some of the students used to say to me, "Oh, I don't want to go to Melbourne, Miss McGoon. That's no. They never smile at you, and they never talk to you." And I said, "Really?" And I used to laugh and think, "Oh, country." And And then now I've been here for 10 years and I go back and I think, your blood pressure starts to rise when you get into that traffic and you think, oh. And then when you get there and you speak to people, they don't want to speak to you. Or, when you say hello, or when you go into a shop and you just have mindless conversation like, hi, how are you? In the Western District, we're busy, it's constant, but it is that beautiful relationship that everyone has with each other, that there is... No, it's not too much to say hello. It's not too much to smile. And that's one important thing is when you walk down Hamilton, people look you in the eye. Yeah. People look in your eye and they speak straight to you. Whereas in Melbourne, you get that sort of side shift and you feel secure. So that's important for us. So Western District for us is family. It's friendship. And it's about belonging. And I think that's what the Western District does. It brings you in. So
that's the most beautiful answer I've heard all day. You're gonna make me cry. Well, Matilda, thank you so much for speaking to me. Love your passion and you've just in your empathy and you're very thoughtful. So thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matilda, and thanks for listening, everyone. I'm Jared from Story Towns. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Just search for Story Towns, and I'll talk to you on the next podcast.